Making a Bible club extraordinary is harder than it looks, especially when you try to do it with your own strength. It all started a few weeks ago when I felt that God wanted me to become a campus missionary. So it got me thinking, what can I do to make it successful, awesome, dare I say, extraordinary? I asked some other successful club leaders for some advice. I started with my good friend Schaefer from the Future Business Leaders of America Club. So, I hear you're looking to make your club extraordinary. Well, my friend, you're going to need funding. You know what the secret is to funding in the corporate world? Sponsorship, advertising, that's where the big bucks lie. Get a big name corporation that lends their name to your club, and bam, you'll be rolling in the dough. Now that I think about it, I think I can arrange something. Really? Thanks. So I tried Schaefer's idea of corporate advertising, and he arranged a deal with us at the local McDonald's. We got red yellow Bibles with an extra book, the Gospel according to Ronald McDonald. And we got all the cheeseburgers we could eat. Although we got more people, I wasn't sure if we were drawing people so much for God as for the food. To get people more focused on the God aspect of the club, rather than the cheeseburger aspect, I turned to my friend Greg, our local goth. People these days are shallow. You need to capture the minds with flashy stories of violence, blood, and gore, like Ehud in the King of Moab, or Aminadab in the millstone, or Absalom getting speared while hanging from a tree by his hair, or... I get it. Why don't you come? Then it'll be morbid enough. I'm laughing at the dark, abysmal inside. So, the next day we headed to McDonald's for another artery-clogging Bible club. The unexpected happened. PETA and other vegan organizations were protesting at our very McDonald's, forcing us to find another venue. Nothing I was doing seemed to be working, so I turned to the only person I can trust, my best friend Pedro, who I happened to catch in between speeches for class president. Amigo, you should have your club at Taco Bell. If you wanted more focus on God, you should have it interpreted in Spanish. But Pedro, there's only like 3 Spanish kids in our whole school. Don't worry about that essay. Follow my advice, and you can't lose. Also, remember, if you don't see Jesus or Mary in your tortilla, you're not doing it right. So, the next day we headed to Taco Bell for our first tortilla-based Bible club. We did draw more people, but none of the Spanish kids, all 3 of them, could tell what I was saying, because the interpreter wouldn't stop stuffing his face with tacos. Then, when I got to the part about not doing Christianity right, if you don't see Jesus or Mary in your tortilla, the interpreter mumbled something in Spanish, and they all freaked. They went through every soft taco shell and tortilla in the place until they found what I thought looked like Nick Jonas. They thought it looked like Jesus, and I let them think so, because if I hadn't, I would have been even more trouble with Taco Bell. Needless to say, I'm not looking out for anyone. As I sat there in the library, desperate and about to give up, I turned to 1 Corinthians 1:25. And the weakness of God is stronger than man's strength, and the foolishness of God is wiser than man's wisdom. That's when it hit me. I was trying to do this in my own strength, my own wisdom, when what I needed was God's strength through the Holy Spirit. Because when God's strength meets my weakness and what He calls me to do, then it truly becomes extraordinary.